So after the video that I released the other day, my bad, my computer's on right now. Apparently something went wrong on Facebook. Doesn't matter. Um, yeah. The other day, I posted a video talking about, okay, well, I'm going to be serious about posting every single day. I also did some reflection over January about posting a video every day, and I recognized that not every video has to be a high quality video. Not every video needs to be the cream of the crop or highly explanatory or knowledgeable or inspiring or motivating or artistic or anything in order for me to actually put it out online. The only thing I need to do in order to make a video is just speak to the camera and then post it, and I recognize that. So then, anyway, after creating the video that I made, the short little contemplation or whatever, that was basically my way of announcing, hey, we are back to making a video every day. How come after I posted that video, I ended up feeling anxious? Why do I not feel motivated or inspired to continue to create videos, even though people have told me that they love my videos? And if I'm just consistent with it, it's only a matter of time before other people recognize that there is some value for them to get from these videos, which is the whole point. I don't care about fame. I don't care about the success of these things, of anything that I'm putting out. I don't care about the attention. I don't care about the potential monetary gain. The whole point of all of the videos and everything I'm putting out, including the e-commerce stuff about, the t-shirt shop and everything else, the only point is to hopefully enlighten someone to an avenue that they didn't know about before, or to inspire someone to do something that they always thought of starting, but for whatever reason didn't. Like, you don't need money to start the online store stuff. You don't need income. You don't need to have a great idea. You don't need any of that. You just need to start. And if you're not happy with where you are financially, that's the whole point of that. But anyway, I just got some mozzarella sticks in the oven. Just let me put the mozzarella sticks in the oven, and then I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back. But what I'm saying is that, the whole reason why I started making these videos in the first place is because I recognized that there are people who are just not happy with their circumstances. And I truly acknowledge and I understand that not everybody who says that they're dissatisfied with where they are truly dissatisfied with where they are. Because when people are truly in an uncomfortable place, when they have enough pain, when there's enough discomfort and enough pain in anyone's situation, they will 100% always look for something to change. And it's not always a positive change, but that's how sometimes, like on the negative side of things, that's how sometimes people get addictions. That's how sometimes people decide like they're going to try to end their life. That's the reason why some people will end their marriages. This is the reason why some people seek counseling. This is the reason why some people start exercising. This is the reason why people start looking at self-help books. This is the reason why some people start going to church. The reason why people make changes and start doing things spontaneously that are otherwise outside of character for them is because generally, because of discomfort. Now, you do have like a small group of people who will do things, who will try to do something different, who will try to improve their lives, who will try to escape their situation, not because of where they are being bad, but because they're proactive and they can see there is nothing for me here in the long run. So there's something that needs to change now because I don't want to suffer. Because I don't want my kids to suffer. So I'm going to prevent it from happening by starting now. And I understand that there are some people like that, but most people are going to be retroactive, and that's okay. And, anyway, the whole point of the videos that I'm making isn't to, to convince anyone of anything else, but for the rare person who is either in the painful situation or who is being proactive and wants to make a difference, I'm hoping that my videos will inspire or enlighten someone into making the change or the decision necessary for them to start seeing a positive change in their life and in the lives of the people that they care about. And the like some of the quote unquote inspirational motivational messaging that I had like from 10 years ago was about that. Some of the videos that I came out with in the past month, right, about e-commerce and looking at the analytics of my store and all of that, like that's what that was about, right? So create another, like, you're not happy with the amount of money you have, create another source of income for yourself, another stream of income. And you can do it for less than a meal from McDonald's. And I know you're buying McDonald's anyway, more than likely. Like it's statistically, a poor person's like one of their favorite things to get is fast food. So like if you're already buying the McDonald's, then you can start the online store. If you have the Netflix account, then you can start the online store. Like you have the time and you have the money. That's my point. One episode of like Breaking Bad, I think it's like 45 minutes or an hour to watch an episode of Breaking Bad. That's how much time that's how much time it takes in order to start an online store. I'm not saying you have to do print on demand. The reason why I chose print on demand is because I think print on demand is the most time effective solution for creating another stream of income for yourself. Like if you want to go with an in-person supplier and make the connections and do all of that, you can. But if you are seriously just not happy with where you are right now and you just want to make a difference, then like print on demand may be a good place to start. And then you'll have the luxury of getting what you want to do, doing what you want to do later. But right now, like we just need to get out of discomfort. That's the whole idea, right? And you know, Javon, like, why do you feel so strongly about this? Why do you feel so passionately about this? I think that's really what this video is about today. Like, why am I so adamant about making these videos, about building personal brand, about, you know, creating more awareness about what I'm doing and how I was able to do it to other people? Because like, let's be real. I'll be completely honest. Like I may be smarter than the average person. I may be smarter than the average person, but nothing that I'm doing is ingenious or original. Like none of the things that I say, none of the things that I do are thoughts or ideas or concepts or strategies that only I thought of, you know, and the people who I learned these things from, they are more successful than me. I do not think they are smarter than me. And to be honest with you, like when we look on average, like most successful entrepreneurs, like they have very average IQs, you know, sometimes below average. And I would argue that that's actually more of a competitive advantage for people who are trying to create money and wealth for themselves, because when you don't think that much, when you're just not that intelligent, you do more. And the biggest obstacle for a lot of people is their overthinking. Right? Stopping themselves from starting or from persisting because they just think too much. And it's like, no, bro, like the entire process is about doing. It's about execution. That's what it is. And yeah, I really think I started on this journey because like even in high school, I just saw how people weren't satisfied with their quality of life. You know, they weren't satisfied with where they were, or where their family was, or the things that they had, or the things that they could do, or anything like that. And like, and sometimes people would do like really dumb and reckless things, you know, sometimes illegal things because of desperation. And that doesn't need to be the case. It's just like there are these alternatives that people think are way more risky, and they're really not. And that the likelihood of success is just like it's like super low, and it really isn't. And it's causing a lot of people to just not be happy with where they are, and it messes them up and it messes their kids up. And let me check on these mozzarella sticks really quick, but I really want to finish this. Anyway, I've just seen a lot of people who have been like really dissatisfied and ultimately suffering because of the situation that they're in. And the thing is like, it's the situation that you're in. It's not the way that you were born. It's not necessarily the circumstances that you were born in. It's not your genetics. Like, it's not that. It's just that, like, what if, like, hear me out, right? Like, what if you don't have anxiety? Like, what if you're not actually an anxious person? What if you just grew up in public school, and public school was designed to make you think that life was a test? What if you were designed to think that everything is either right or wrong and there is no in between, and so you're completely stressed out all of the time trying to make the right decisions, when in reality, it's free and you can do whatever you want? What if you're not actually depressed? What if you were just never designed to sit inside of a box all day, like 8 to 12 hours a day, in front of a rectangular screen that shoots blue light at you, and just do this the entire time? What if you weren't designed to do that? What if you were designed for movement? What if the reason why you have such a deep longing for travel is because you're a human being, and human beings are meant to be nomadic creatures? What if the reason why you feel so lonely is because we were never designed to be in these huge, like, grandiose cities, so living on top of each other, and instead we're supposed to be in small communities of like up to 20 people? What if that's the norm and you're not living what's supposed to be natural and normal for people like us? What if you don't have ADHD? What if you just have an addiction to this little rectangle that fits in your pocket that makes all of these silly sounds and these bright colors that flash on the screen in 30 to 60-second increments? What if that's the reason why it's so difficult for you to focus? What if it has to do with something called operant conditioning? What if it has to do with subliminal messaging? What if it has to do with you being exposed to things that are just not making you the most optimal you that you can be, but instead the most optimal consumer that you can be? Now, what if there's a way for you to get out of that system, and the way for you to get out of that system is to start creating things? And that takes me to another point, because one thing that I heard somebody say at one point was that they weren't creative. Somebody told me that they weren't creative. But if you've ever played a game before, if you've ever had an imaginary friend, if you have ever drawn a picture as a child, then I can assure you that there is creativity in your blood and in your mind. Like by definition, as a creation, by the creator of the universe, you are a creation who is creative. Like you have to be if you were made in the image of God. And so the reason why you may not actually resonate with the part of yourself that is in fact creative is because at some point you were conditioned to be you were discouraged from exercising that part of who you are. But asking questions is great. Being curious is phenomenal. Having a sense of wonder is great. That's where new ideas come from. That's where new concepts come from. That's how new things are stood to be explored. Like the whole concept of exploration, the whole concept of creation, the whole concept of if we're talking about the development of new infrastructure, the development of new products, new music, new TV shows, new ideas, new concepts, new belief systems, new philosophies. If we're talking about the exploration and the discovery of new foods, of completely new animals, just seem like someone needed to ask a question first, and then they needed to explore the answer. Someone needed to wonder. Someone needed to go on an adventure. And it wasn't about what was known to be I know what's going to be at the end of this. No, they needed to have the faith or the comforts to understand that all of the answers may not be found. They needed to have the acceptance to say okay, well, while I'm on this journey or on this trek, going into this new place or into this new realm, there is the potential that I could be hurt, but I'm going to search after it anyway. And ultimately, the only time that we're able to discover new ideas, new philosophies, new foods, new tastes, new anything, new things about ourselves, even intrinsically, is by asking those questions and exploring with the acknowledgement that it may not go the way that we want it to go. And that's okay, because ultimately what makes roller coasters fun in the first place is the fact that there are ups and downs. How in the world would you ever be able to enjoy a $5,000 meal if you've only had $5,000 meals? You need to know what dirt what dirt tastes like in order to like things that are more expensive than dirt. I think what hurts a lot of people, just in general, one thing that hurts a lot of people is this desire for everything to be perfect all of the time. And by wanting clarity and all of the answers at the beginning, they stop. It's that stops them from doing anything. And the reason why people do not see progress in their lives, in their personal lives in particular, because there may be upward mobility in their job, granted that they're doing their responsibilities to the utmost because it's very clear and safe, because it's a job within a corporate system, whatever. But in the rest of life, the reason why people don't see their neighborhood get better, they don't see themselves get in better shape over a long enough time horizon, the reason why people don't actually finish the books that they said they were going to read, whatever the thing is, the reason why I think what actually stops them is this inherent fear of judgment, and along with comfort. And it's It can be a fear of judgment. Some people say it's a fear of success. Some people say it's a fear of failure. Ultimately, I think we can put that all into the same bucket and say it's a fear of the unknown. It's because there are things that we don't know. We can't tell the future. We don't know exactly what's going to happen if we move into this direction. And that's the reason why I'm going to refrain from doing anything at all. Now, I know that I'm dissatisfied with my current reality, but instead of pursuing something else that might be the answer, getting some new experience, some new perspective, and if it's not the answer, pivoting, instead of doing that, I'm going to stay where I am. Because it's safe. I am unhappy. I am miserable. I feel depressed. I have anxiety, but I feel safe at the same time, which is mind-blowing to me. I don't understand it. And yeah, I don't know. This rant probably doesn't have a very clear conclusion. But if there's one thing that I hope, that I pray that people get from the videos that I put out on the internet, which will not all be rants like this one. Just look at my past videos. I think there's quite some variety. But if there's one thing I hope that people just get from them, it's just that doing the risky thing is probably the least risky thing you can do. Because if you stay on the path you are now, a lack of fulfillment is guaranteed. Peace.